So ORIC locus is the origin of replication, and this ORIC is rich in 80 pairs, 80, 80, 80, like this the sequence will be there. A specific protein called DNA binds to the ORIC locus and results in unwinding of double-stranded DNA. So binding of DNA protein at the origin C locus of double-strand DNA causes unwinding of DNA. This unwinding of DNA results in formation of replication bubble with two replication forks. SS binding proteins binds to DNA to each strand to prevent re-annealing of DNA. Helicases continue the process of unwinding, and topoisomerases help in removal of supercoils formed during unwinding. So replication fork consists of four components: helicase, primase, DNA polymerase, and SSBP, single strand binding proteins. So this helicase enzyme helps in unwinding of double strand DNA. Primase helps in synthesizing of short RNA primer. DNA polymerase helps in synthesis of DNA, and single stranded binding proteins help in stabilizing the replication fork, and it will not allow the re-annealing of double strand DNA. Now see this diagram. I think all of you are able to see this diagram. See the diagram carefully. This is a replication fork, and see this triangle shaped enzyme. This is DNA helicase. This DNA helicase causes the unwinding of double strand DNA. Now you know that DNA is a double stranded DNA. Now two strands are there. As DNA helicase moves inside the double strand DNA, it causes opening of two strands. This is called unwinding. So this unwinding is caused here by DNA helicase. Like this acts like a zip. So it unzips the double strand DNA and moves on. When the DNA helicases moves along the double strand DNA and causing unwinding, there is a chance for the formation of supercoils. These supercoils are removed by the enzymes called topoisomerases. Topoisomerases helps in removal of supercoils. Now see here, this side and this side you can see single strand binding proteins, SSBP, single strand binding proteins. These single strand binding proteins, they attach with the single strand. They attach with the single strand of the unwinded double stranded DNA, so that it prevents the re-annealing of the double strand DNA, because they should not attach again. So to prevent their attachment again, the single strand binding proteins are useful in preventing the re-annealing of the double strand DNA. Now always I told you the double DNA synthesis takes place from 5' to 3' direction. See, this is a template DNA. This is a template DNA, and this is lagging strand. So two strands will be there in the replication fork. One strand is called as template DNA. The other strand is called as lagging strand DNA. So template DNA, the replication process is continuous, whereas on the lagging strand the replication process is discontinuous, and small short fragments will be formed. They are called as Okazaki fragments. See here, there is a short primer attached to this opened single strand DNA. This is called RNA primer. To start the replication process, we need a short RNA primer that comes and binds with this DNA on both the strands of DNA, and this starts the process of initiation of replication. And if you see, this moves in 5 prime to 3 prime direction. Helicase for the DNA synthesis, it moves in this direction. So the direction of movement is shown here. This DNA helicase moves continuously like this, and topoisomerase removes the supercoil formation. So this is how the replication fork starts, and this process is called initiation of replication. Moving on to the next slide. The second step of replication is elongation of DNA. So elongation of DNA requires RNA primer, a DNA template, a DNA polymerase enzyme called DNAP, and deoxyribonucleotides DATP, DGTP, DCTP, DTTP. So elongation of DNA requires RNA primer, DNA template, DNA polymerase enzyme, and deoxyribonucleotides DATP, DGTP, DCTP, DTTP. Now replication requires 9 hours in eukaryotes to complete the process. So replication requires 9 hours to complete the process in case of eukaryotes. Eukaryotes means the organisms which are having a true nucleus are called eukaryotes. So prokaryotes, the replication mechanism is slightly different from the eukaryotic replication mechanism. Since we are studying with the human biochemistry and human molecular biology, we are mostly concerned with the eukaryotic replication mechanism. So replication mechanism takes place 9 hours to complete in case of eukaryotes. DNAP means DNA polymerase enzyme requires RNA primer to start elongation, and DNA polymerase copies the information from DNA template. So there are two DNA single strand DNAs which are separated by the enzyme helicase action. So these two strands, now they synthesize new DNA. So this, once the replication fork is formed, once the single strand binding proteins are attached with the unwinded double strand DNA, then the replication process will start, that is by attaching the short RNA primer to the both strands of DNA. That is initiation. Now in the case of elongation, DNA polymerase plays an important role. So DNA polymerase, in short I have mentioned in this slide as DNAP. DNAP means DNA polymerase. This DNA polymerase catalyze the stepwise addition of deoxyribonucleotides from 5 prime to 3 prime end on the template strand. So nucleoside triphosphates, they enter the reaction, and DNA polymerase takes up this DNTPs and links to the short RNA primer. Now see here, this is a diagram where the DNA polymerase action is shown. Now see, this is a template DNA strand. The lower strand is template DNA strand, consists of the sequence T, C, A, G. So 4 nucleotides are there. Now this is a growing DNA strand, means this is the replication where new DNA strand is synthesized. So T, opposite T always binds with adenine, C always binds with guanine, A always binds with T. Now see here, A is there, the new incoming nucleotide will be DTTP. So thymine will come and attach with the A. Again G is there, now C will come. So this is how the addition of nucleotides, deoxynucleotides, takes place on the growing DNA strand. So this is taking place in elongation phase. Now here another image I am showing you. So this is a template DNA strand. You can see the sequence of template DNA strand: T, C, A, G, A, C, A, T, T, G, C, A, G, T, G, A, C. So this is the sequence of nucleotides that is present on DNA template. Now on the growing strand, see there is a short RNA primer which is complementary to the DNA template. So the newly synthesized DNA is always complementary in nature. Complementary means let's say T is there. T always binds with A, so A. So this information that is present on the template DNA is copied onto the new strand, growing DNA strand during the process of replication. This information is complementary, means this is opposite to that of DNA template, whereas the growing strand consists of the same information as that of the other strand of the parent DNA. Second strand of DNA information is similar to that of the growing strand, so it is copying the information. Now here you see, after short RNA primer there is a addition of nucleotides. A complementary nucleotide is T, C complementary nucleotide is G, A complementary nucleotide is T, T complementary nucleotide is A, T complementary nucleotide is A, G is there, so complementary nucleotide C will come. C is there, G, A is there, T, G is there, C, T is there, A, G is there, C. Like this, the growth of growing DNA strand takes place during the process of replication. So this takes place during elongation process of DNA. So in the elongation process of DNA, there are two strands, I told you that one is leading strand, the other one is called lagging strand. Leading strand is also called as template DNA strand. So on template DNA strand, where a continuous synthesis of DNA takes place, that is called DNA leading strand. So continuous synthesis of DNA takes place on leading strand, whereas on the lagging strand there is discontinuous synthesis of DNA. So the discontinuous synthesis of DNA takes place as Okazaki fragments. These Okazaki fragments are short DNA fragments which are again ligated by the enzyme DNA ligase to make a single strand of newly synthesized DNA. This replication takes place on both strands simultaneously. Remember, the replication takes place on both the strands of DNA simultaneously, means the replication on leading strand and the replication on lagging strand takes place simultaneously. Now see, this is a parent DNA strand. Both the strands, these two strands are parent DNA strands. So this is a replication fork where the DNA is unwinded. Now the leading strand, see the red color fragments on the leading strand indicates that this is a short RNA primer, and now the addition of nucleotides taking place from 5' to 3' direction. So DNA is synthesized from 5' to 3' direction. And see, this line is continuous. There is no break in this synthesis of DNA on this strand. So this is called leading strand. The DNA takes place, synthesis takes place continuously. Whereas the lagging strand is the other strand where the DNA is synthesized as short fragments. See, the red color is always RNA primer. So the DNA synthesis takes place in small fragments. These fragments are called as Okazaki fragments. So the DNA synthesis on lagging strand is discontinuous. These fragments are called as Okazaki fragments, and these fragments are ligated by the enzyme DNA ligase. Once few fragments of Okazaki fragments are ready, DNA ligase will come and ligase these fragments into a single strand. So first Okazaki fragments were demonstrated by a scientist called Riichi Okazaki. So in the honor of this Okazaki name, these fragments are given the name of Okazaki. So this is how the elongation process takes place. So after formation of DNA fragment, RNA primer is removed by DNA polymerase enzyme with exonuclease activity. Exonuclease and endonuclease, two activities will be there for the enzymes that are involved in the process of replication. Exonuclease means removal. Endonuclease activity will be there for the restriction endonucleases. They are used for the cutting of DNA. Okay, so this exonuclease activity of DNA polymerase cuts the RNA primer once the DNA synthesis is over, and the gap is filled by DNA polymerase with again DNTTPs, means deoxyribonucleotides. The two Okazaki pieces on the lagging strand are later joined by the DNA ligase. This is how the elongation process of DNA takes place on leading strand and lagging strand. See here in this diagram you can see the action of DNA polymerase after removal of the RNA primer. So DNA polymerase brings in and adds the new nucleotides so that DNA fragment will form again instead of RNA primer, and these fragments are ligated by DNA ligase and they form like a single strand of DNA on the lagging strand as well. Remember, these diagrams are very important. You should learn these diagrams. You should practice these diagrams at home, and you have to show me these practiced diagrams tomorrow. This is your assignment for today. And the last process of DNA replication is termination. So this termination process is different from prokaryotes to eukaryotes. In case of prokaryotes, the process of replication is terminated when the two replication forks moving in opposite direction from the origin meet. In case of bacteria called Escherichia coli, the replication of circular DNA takes about 30 minutes to complete this process. I told you in case of eukaryotes it takes 9 hours to complete the DNA replication process. In eukaryotes, replication is terminated when entire DNA is duplicated in S phase of the cell cycle. So this is how termination takes place. And you should know about the inhibitors of replication also. Inhibitors are of different kinds. Some inhibitors, they inhibit the DNA unwinding. Some inhibitors, they inhibit the dNTPs formation. Some inhibitors inhibit the replicative enzymes. Some inhibitors inhibit the nucleoside analogs so that the replication is inhibited. For example, inhibitors of DNA unwinding example include actinomycin, mitomycin. So these are the drugs which can cause the inhibition of DNA unwinding. This prevents the unwinding of DNA. So if there is no unwinding of DNA, there is no replication. So these actinomycin, mitomycin, they prevent DNA unwinding and acts as inhibitors of replication. The second type of inhibitors, they act on deoxyribonucleotides formation, means formation of dNTPs. We have studied salvage pathway for purines and pyrimidines in second year. So that for salvage pathway is helpful for the formation of ribonucleotides. So by preventing the formation, you can inhibit the replication because the availability of dNTPs is the most important requirement for the DNA replication. Examples for deoxyribonucleotides include antifolates. Like these antifolates, they inhibit the purine and pyrimidine synthesis, so they act as a inhibitors for the formation of dNTPs. Then inhibitors of replicative enzymes like DNA gyrase, DNA polymerase, these are the enzymes of DNA replication. These enzymes can be inhibited by certain drugs. For example, norfloxacin is an antibiotic which is used. This inhibits the DNA replicative enzymes. So norfloxacin also acts as inhibitors of DNA replication. Again, incorporation of nucleoside analogs. These are the nucleoside analogs which are used as anti-cancer drugs or antiviral drugs which are used for retroviral treatment. Example, cytarabine, vidarabine. So these are all nucleotide analogs, means they resembles that of dNTPs. These are synthesized products. Cytarabine, vidarabine, they are used as anti-cancer drugs and antiviral drugs. So these are some examples for inhibitors of DNA replication. Now in the next class we will continue with the DNA damage. In the replication, next class we will continue with the DNA damage. Now we have completed the process of DNA